And it's very important because after more than 10 years, I think we've been working on establishing the ASEAN Center for Multilingualism, Translation and Interpretation. And finally, last year we submitted the document to the Prime Minister, and then the issue was sent to Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Education. And just last month that we had a chance to discuss about education improvement and development, including languages in Thailand with the Minister. Professor Dr. Udom, who is Vice President of the Royal Society, went with me to meet the Minister of Education, and we mentioned about our intention to establish a language improvement in Thailand. So he requested us to send documents, communication documents.
About Vietnam, we commit to join hands with other countries with the model we speak Asia. And secondly, we have also do the activity for translator and interpreter in 2012. We have we come up with other countries to organize the International Translator Day with Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. And after that, after 2 years, we also organized another international translate in 2014. So we continue with this activity to build the translator and interpreter community for Asia in with the third translator day next year.
There are actually quite a number of parallels between the ASEAN situation and the EU situation. If you look at it, it is, as Professor Manirat said, it's a multilingual community, and there is some English around, but yet multilingualism is very strong. In Europe, we have the situation that we have England and Ireland, where English is spoken as a native language. And then we have countries like Malta and the Scandinavian language, where English is very strong, but it is not a native language. And then we have a lot of countries like Germany and others where English is a foreign language. And in Eastern European countries, English is weaker. In other countries, English is stronger. So I think the situation is very much like ASEAN, where in the Philippines, English is very strong, or in Singapore. But in other countries, English is not so strong. So we really have to deal with this multilingual situation.
Issues. One of the things that I think it's worth talking about, so standards is clearly, so the number of standards is one piece. With standards, and I don't know if Cara Warburton is 37. The other challenge is we don't really have a handle on localization. And localization is kind of an umbrella now that encompasses a lot of translation and even interpreting. That's one challenge.
I'm on the position of where things are changed and how things are managed. And working in the ASEAN community, it's for the language community, it's very different from when I worked in the Western community in the US. Here are some of the challenges that I think you will face when creating best practices and creating standards are that the people you're working with here, the people that you're giving these guidelines to, are living in a very different environment than the language professionals who are working in the US, out of my own experience. And so the standards and the best practices have to reflect the environment, the education, and the background of the people who will be working under them here. And I think that will be really important during the creation of these guidelines.
And for our country, we have like around 120 ethnic dialects, and the major languages that we do speak is like Myanmar, English, Chinese, Urdu, Hindi, and some Nepali on major cities where the business has been grouped. So for the international NGOs, we're walking around the country. They do need an ethnic translators who can translate back into English.
As my capacity, I work in ASEAN Study Center. We are Buddhist University in Thailand, and as our capacity, we try to integrate Buddhism and modern education together. And as we know, Visakha Busha Day, United Nations announced Visakha Busha Day is international celebration. So my university work with the Thai government as far as a lot of Buddhist text data in Buddhism need to be translated, and we need interpreter to come to join the United Nations celebration at our university.
From Thai language to another language, probably the product not eatable. Yeah. So you have to consider the rule and the language's rule and terminology, so the technology can build upon it. Because I think from the e-commerce perspective, the language shouldn't be the barrier between trader. I mean, the small entrepreneur can sell everything built on the platform. They don't need to understand Chinese. They don't need to understand English, but they can sell their product.
Through us.
Through us. Through translators.
Otherwise, they couldn't sell. Otherwise, we get delayed to other things. So we have a translated day, we have the document to be submitted, we have to think about very carefully about training costs for this region, not just only Thailand. Because if we do just only in Vietnam, we do just only in China, we do just only in Cambodia, then it means that we have to do another stage to move them from one country to ASEAN. We talk about just ASEAN first. If they can go to the world center, it's okay. Otherwise, then we have to do again and again. And you see from the real picture that maybe I'm the only one who run here and there. So it'll be better if we can move to ASEAN to have training courses by, drawing, pooling resources, quality resources. Because anyway, the proposal to hold the training should be submitted at least through the party members and to the government, because they will facilitate our work. But I think that no worry, because all of us here are already expert. So maybe you cannot escape.
We're committed.
Okay. So this is the thing that we would like to do. And anything else that you would like to share, Dr. David?
Not yet.
Anything that you think that we have to...
That if we don't have, the whole profession will fall over. And if we look at that picture, I think most people would say the thing that we need to have to stop it from falling over is funding. But on the other hand, I think there's more to it than that. Funding is so I give an example a lot. I work from time to time for the Norwegian government. The Norwegian government has a wonderful examination certification system for interpreters and translators. Pass rate of around 5 to 7%, depending on what languages you work in. Highly qualified in a number of languages. And Norway, they don't care about money. You need money, they dig some more under the ground. Yeah? Money is not an issue.